She made this t-shirt that says, I heart you.
Welcome to my universe. Welcome to my universe. We back. Now, I know I said I was going to do a video on the Lover's Card, a full video on it, but I'm not doing it because this one, the Chariot, is coming up next, and that's the one I've been on a lot lately. And the reason why I'm not doing a full build on a Lover's Card is because I feel like I gave enough information. I thought about it, and I went back over the video, and I was like, that's enough information for them to be able to understand what the Lover Card was about. So we gonna move on to the Chariot, because this one is a lot interesting. It has way more information on it to break down, and this is where we at right now. Okay, basically the Chariot card is about mastery, mind mastery, and transcendence. Now, we gonna get into the details of the card first. So, as you can see, he is cemented down in a block, which is made of stone. He had already crossed over his emotions. Now, meanwhile, this is still the Fool's journey. But now he's in a totally new stance. He just came from dealing with the lovers and learning about how to, master the balance of dualities, which we had been speaking a lot about, far as the Emperor and the Empress, the High Priest and the Hierophant. So now that he is learning to make his own decisions, and he has learned, about what balance is and how to balance the energies within himself, and know the difference, with dealing with it within himself versus dealing with it outside of himself, so he can, perfectly balance that aspect. Now he's back here, and as you can see, there is some things that are similar to the Magician card. Like, for instance, he has the wand in his hand, like the Magician did, and he has the same garb around his waist. Now, see, the difference in that is when the Magician had this garb around his waist, it was dealing with the Ouroboros, the snake self-regenerating itself by consuming itself, because that's what the Ouroboros is based on. It's basically based on you being able to self-sustain yourself in any situation. Yeah. And then now he has the same symbolism around his waist, except this one is more on the cosmic levels, because what he has around his waist is a ring of the 12 stars of the zodiac, which means that now he's dealing with the cosmic reality, and it's the same as self-sustaining yourself, but now it's like you have a little more knowledge of what to do far as dealing with all of the aspects of yourself, because they say that we are nothing but mere stardust as well. So, and if he's in this arena with it, then now he's dealing with different aspects of himself, far as dealing with the cosmos, like dealing with how did he see himself, how did the world sees him, you know, how to conduct yourself. It's based on basic astrology, but that's how you could tell the phase he's in now, which is he's still in phase 1. And matter of fact, I did not even know that there were 3 phases in dealing with tarot. So we gonna go to phase 1 and see what they talk about far as dealing with phase 1 in the tarot. So give me a second, because you know this is new information to me. I did not know about this. Of course, you know, like the traditional tarot card readers, they know about this, but I didn't know about this because, like I said, this was just something I picked up and grew to love, and it was a way to express healing. Because, you know, I seen healing when dealing with the tarot cards, and then I started doing readings for myself. And I'm not knocking tarot readers because I think they are great. They, you know, like, to me, it's like more advanced, you know. But for me, I'm just, like I said, I'm in the beginning stages still. So, but let's see what they say about phase 1. And this is coming out of the Sahar. I don't even want to pronounce that. Oneida and Palmer book. But anyways, it says, we encounter the characters who help form and prepare the fool for this childhood and youth in the first phase of the tarot story. It represents the groundwork that will allow the fool to make his first decisions on his own. It let him conquer his first conflict, love, prepare for bigger conflicts. New experiences will aid him in realizing his full potential and ultimately achieving his life's objective. The Fool represents the start of self-actualization as well as the pinnacle of wisdom and experiences garnered along the way. So that's what the first phase of dealing with tarot is about, when you know you coming out of the book. And I had no idea about that phase. So this is what the beginning stages and being in the beginning stages of being on a journey for yourself is about. Now, getting back into the Chariot. Of course, you know, the Chariot card is number 7. And you know, 7 is, like, they say God's number, but it's also a number of mastery. So that's why they have here the mastery of the mind and transcendence. Now, another thing you can see about the Chariot is he has a canopy of stars up here, which means, you know, the heavens. And then he has 4 pillars in the back, which means, you know, they say the 4 elements, meaning that he has mastery over the 4 elements, because, you know, that's what the Magician card deal with as well. First, it's about mastering, you know, your environment, and that's dealing with, you know, the suits of the tarot cards in the minor arcana, which is the cups, the swords, the pentacles, and the wands. So this is the same thing, except now he's mastering the 4 elements, you know, not only within himself, but outside of himself as well. And it could, because, you know, the suits also stands for the elements of nature, like fire, earth, air, water. So, and then on his shoulders, as you can see, he has half crescent moons there with the blue faces, and you know, blue stands for intuition, and it also stands for the throat chakra as well. So he's basically mastered and balanced how to use his voice, how to, you know, stand on his voice and be able to hear and accept truth and receive it well. So he mastered that, and you know that blue also stands for the water, and water also stands for the emotions. So that also lets you know the Chariot has mastered those things as well. And you know, the crescents, of course, that stands for the moon. And the moon is like more of the subconscious, the dark feminine energy within him. But the background is all yellow. So you know what that stands for. If this on his shoulder stands for the moon. So the yellow stands for sun energy, the masculine energy, meaning that he has also mastered and balanced his mind as well. But that doesn't mean that his journey is over, because like I said before, this is just the first phase. So now, what else can we spot out? Of course, he has a square on his chest. That means that he's standing on his square, meaning, you know, that he can't be moved at this point. Sign of victory. He also has, let's go back to the top, where he has the 8-pointed star crown. That means he is heading for his north node in astrology. But in tarot, it just means that he have arrived to his higher self. But the goal is to stay there, you know. And when I say higher self, I don't mean higher self as in you don't have a lower self. It just means, you know, that you're able to perfectly balance that out in any situation. But like I said again, the goal is, can you continue to do that? Can you continue to stay focused? So this chariot also stands for a closing of a cycle, which is the closing of the cycle of the first phase I just got through telling you about. Meaning that that's just the first cycle, because he's going to go through more stuff. Let's see. Of course, he has a laurel leaf crown as well. You can't hardly see it though. But on top or up under the 8-star crown, he has that. And that's also another symbol of victory and closing out a cycle, because that has everything to do with the world card, as well as the wheel of fortune. And then, you know, if you go back to the Empress, she has it as well. You know, like we talked about it previously, but that's what that's about. Of course, I think another major arcana has it too, but you're going to see it throughout, you know, these cards as we talk about them, because I think the strength card has it. Yes, the strength cards has it as well. So getting more into the symbolism. Let me see. Let's talk about the shield a little bit. Now the shield, he has a red bolt there to let you know that he's grounded in his foundation. And that's another thing too, with the way he's, you know, in cement. He's cementing into stone. And they have him here in a form of like a Greek god, the way he's dressed, his attire and everything. But all of this means something, as well as the garment he has up under the belt that he has around his waist. But that I have not gotten that far yet, because I do have a symbolism book, but I wasn't able to find information on it yet. But when I do, I'll come back and talk about it. And let me see. And then you notice he has the 2 sphinx here, and they're in opposite directions. He doesn't have reins to control them, so that means these sphinx are in control, and he's just going with the flow. Now, as far as the coloring scheme and how they did them, you know, the black sphinx and the white sphinx, that just means that his situation, this is how you could tell that the journey is not over, because not only they're sitting in opposite directions, but he don't have any form of control over them, meaning he doesn't have reins. So they are just free willingly in control at this point. And then the black and white theory. But if you've been, you know, like doing your research on this black and white thing, you're gonna end up finding out that they're just complements of each other, and they're actually the same thing. Because I know in the older dictionaries and This is when I was studying with other people, other elders and things of that nature. And they were showing me, they in the older dictionaries, black really means white, and white, is the same thing far as dealing with color. So, and I believe the Masons know about this because they use the checkerboard floors when you think about that. So, what all this is saying is, even though these are in opposite directions and they are opposite colors, but they're still corresponding with each other in the coloring, it just means that when you get further in your research and you get further in your journey, you're gonna find out that there's really no difference in this. And all you need to do is just balance whatever situation that comes your way out, because that's what this is about. But more or less in going with the flow as well. You're not going to try to be in control. This is him not being in control. This is him just going with the flow. And whatever he goes through, he already aware of how to deal with it and master it. And this is alchemy right here, this card. It's not only alchemy, but it's more or less I'm going to control the things that I know I can control, things I know I have control over, and the things I don't, I'm just going to, go with the flow and be able to control the way I react to it. Because with the black and white, this is like a form of you not reacting. So, and that's what that is about. But now, we go get more deeper into the description of what the card means and everything like that. And like I said, I'm coming from this book, but I'm also go back to the Fearless Tarot as well, because I'm studying this stuff too. I'm learning this stuff too. I'm learning with you all. I'm not about to get up here and act like I know this stuff, but it's actually helping me heal some things within myself. It's helping me have an inner dialogue with the things I'm going through within myself and in my environment, and how I view the world and how the world view me and all this and that, But the thing is, you focus on you, focus on the outside, especially when you're on your journey. Okay, the Chariot might be the most mystical card in tarot. Within its symbol, so many secrets are revealed. Having made the first personal decision about love and relationships, the fool must now learn to regulate and balance opposing energies within himself, to run a steady course and overcome other types of hurdles and conflicts in life. Yeah, because it's a learning journey. And you have to keep that in mind. You not just go wake up and know exactly what to do, but you do have an intuition that's going to give you nudges here and there to let you know, okay, go this way, don't go that way. Do this, don't do that. Alright. Having learned about his dualistic nature through the Lover's card, the Fool realizes that life is a cycle of strife and victories. He must now learn how to resolve larger challenges and conflicts. Yeah, because in phase 1, you're learning about it. But when you start moving on into phase 2 and phase 3, you're going to have more of it. And this thing is about staying the course, man. Like, you can't give up. You got to keep going. So, and this is what this is about. And it's also about deciding to have courage instead of, succumbing to fear. That's another thing it's about. The Fool realizes that life is a cycle of strife and victories. He must now learn how to resolve larger challenges and conflicts. To overcome outer conflicts, he must master inner conflict forces within himself first, namely his mind over ego. Yes, we all gotta go through that. And I know everybody have, different ways of dealing with it, But we all gotta go through it. In contrast of the Lover's card, where he was naked and vulnerable, because in the Lover's card, when you seen the two figures there, you had, the masculine figure standing behind the tree that will remind you of the Kabbalah, and then you had the feminine one that was standing behind, or not behind, but in front of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, that the masculine figure was the fool in the picture with the woman, and she's pointing up to the higher self, to let him know this is the direction we need to go in. So, but the whole point of explaining that is to explain when he was in the Lover's card, he was naked and vulnerable. Like, he was open, wide open. And that is a card of vulnerabilities, because a lot more things are about to be exposed. So that way you can make wiser choices and decisions, because now you're not only getting ready to court in relationships. And like I said, it's important to know what are you courting, and if you're going to court whatever that is it going to help better you, or is it going to harm you or hinder you, or become an obstacle for you? So when I was talking about the Lover's card, and now that they're going deeper into it, I felt the need, like, okay, I did leave enough information on the table, so let's move on. So now that they're going deeper into the Lover's card, now you finna find out that the vulnerabilities that they're talking about in this card was letting you know the things that you pay attention to, special attention to. That's what I mean by courting. You have to look at that and to see whether that's good for you or not. And then when you arrive here, this is going to teach you how to stay focused on whatever it is that you're paying special attention to, and not give up, and to always remind yourself of the courage you had from dealing with all of the other cards in the major arcana that you just got through dealing with, i.e. the Magician. Because the Magician was the most complicated one when you got started. But now that you here, it's like you know what to do now that you're here. But the goal is, are you going to keep doing it? So that's what this is about. Now getting back, let me see. In the contrast to the Lover's card, where he was naked and vulnerable, we see the Fool heavily armored, upright in his vehicle of battle. Yeah, because now he has enough knowledge and wisdom to armor himself, because that knowledge and wisdom is his armor, or her armor, either way. Okay. And in his vehicle of battle, he's implying the need to keep the ego in check and to connect with the inspiring mind, symbolizing the 8-pointed star crown over his head, the blue 4-pillar star-bangled canopy. The chariot and the 4 pillars represents the 4 elements, and the season cycles of change as well. The season cycles meaning, spring, summer, winter, fall, because all of those have meanings too. And I believe the next time I come back, I'm going to do a short vid on that, so you can see why, those are so prominent in the tarot as well. Now, the star canopy represents the heavens, and the Fool appears like a Greek god of war, symbolizing the effort exerted into maintaining integration of spirit and matter as a human. Meaning he's not just dealing with the mundane, he's dealing with the spirit realm as well. I mean, because from my perception, I have seen people just stay on the spiritual and not deal with the mundane at all. And then I've seen people who just deal with the mundane and don't deal with the spiritual at all, when you need to be dealing with both, because that's what both of these things are here for. Both of these aspects of life is here for that reason, because there's always going to be something greater than yourself guiding you, whether it be your ancestors, you standing on the shoulders of your ancestors, or it be your higher power, whatever you believe in far as that go, or it could just be your higher self, but there's so many ways to go with it. You just have to pick one that works for you. Now, moreover, in this chariot is drawn back to opposing Sphinx. Now they're about to get into the Sphinx. One black, the other white, which pulls the chariot in opposite directions. The result of the union of opposites in the Lover card. This main task is to keep them under control. Well, his main task is to keep them under control, symbolizing a man's struggle and balancing opposing desires, feelings, and thoughts within himself. Notice they said within himself, because you can't totally control the things that happen outside of you, but what you can do is take control of the things that are happening inside of you. And usually when you do that, then everything else will align with whatever you're doing. But you have to be able to recognize these things, as well as the conflict between staying with what is familiar and moving forward. Yeah, because the goal is to keep going. Don't get so frustrated with yourself to the point that you just don't have no fight in yourself to keep going. Just keep going. And eventually everything will align. Before you know it, you look up and be like, oh wow, I did all that. Yes, you did. Give yourself credit for the things that you do too. Because some people, they do a lot and they don't even give themselves enough credit for it. However, no changes create stagnation. Now, you heard that right. If you're not changing, it's going to create stagnation. You have to be aware of all of this stuff. Or you don't have to be. It's up to you. I ain't forcing you to do it. I'm just showing you what I'm doing for myself, because it's actually helping me. Now, moving forward brings evolution. The Chariot card represents fortitude, which is required to move forward in balance, which is my favorite. Conflicts or cycles of change are necessary to bring about change and growth in life. Furthermore, if you look closely, you will notice that there are no reins attached to the Sphinx. They are masterminded by the fool, who seems to be cemented in his chariot from the bottom down. Yeah, like I showed you before, this is all cement right here, all stone. And although the chariot is made of heavy stones, it has somehow crossed over water onto land as if he had hovered over it. Additionally, the fool's or the charioteer's garment is embellished with several mystical symbols, secret writings, and enigmatic sash across his torso, denoting the full control over his instinctual desires. The focus is on the intellect and the mind, symbolizing the white shining square across his chest. The two crescents on his shoulders pointing to the heavens symbolize his receptive intuition and spiritual guidance. Yeah. Because when you think about them crescent moons, of course you go think about intuition, because that's dealing with the moon cycles, is dealing with the dark feminine energy. And anything intellectual or logic is dealing with the sun, the masculine side. So now, but I ain't gonna get into all that. I'm quite sure you get the point. Now I'm gonna get into what it means in the upright. In the upright, at this point in life, you must be practical and regularly apply your developed skills as well as your mental focus to overcome any problem or struggle you may be experiencing. Yeah, because at this time, you should know better. And when you know better, you do better. Because after all of that lesson he went through in this particular phase, which is not over yet, what he went through, he had learned all of the stuff that has been explained on this card. Whether he was dealing with himself or dealing with the magician or dealing with the Empress, the Hierophant, whatever that came before this position, this aspect of life he was in, he had already dealt with it. So now you should know to keep, focused, because now you staying focused at this point. But it's so easy to forget about that focus, because soon as something bad happens or something that makes you uncomfortable happen, or like you feel like you blocked somewhere, or you might be procrastinating or stagnant, as soon as that happen, you tend to lose focus. But you don't. This is the main reason why you should remember. That's if you dealing with this stuff. But if you not, hey, however you dealing with whatever you dealing with, it don't matter what you choose as a tool to help you and motivate you to get you to keep going in life. All I'm saying is, once you learn the information on how to keep going, or your intuition, whatever, you're supposed to have certain reminders there to let you know, hey, I'm supposed to be focused right now, and try not to have too many distractions in your life. Because these are the distractions, the things that make you lose focus. Hard work is about to be rewarded. Yeah, because once you get to the chariot, like I said, that's a victory. And you're about to be rewarded for that victory. But of course you're not, well, I don't know. For me, I can't speak for other people, but what I can speak for me is I'm really, like trying to heal all aspects of myself. And I know I'm not going to heal every single one of them, but at least enough to keep me focused and driven, to keep remaining on whatever path I shall choose for myself. Like, because I don't want to, keep going through cycles. I want to be able to keep elevating and keep, evolving. Not trying to learn how to maintain cycles. So overnight success, material gain, news or friends from afar, consistent effort is needed to overcome your struggle. Yeah, you have to stay consistent. And that's one thing, like, I know I can get better at, is being consistent, because I'm not consistent in some of the things I do, but I'm learning. And I do tend to, lose focus. That's why I'm talking about this stuff, because sometimes, whatever you go through can be so bad that you just be like, damn, and you'll linger there for a second, At least I that's what I would do. But I'm pushing myself forward, and I'm not trying to stay stuck lingering on anything. So this is my fight, this is what I deal with. And I know I'm not the only one. So that's why I'm willing to share this shit, because I'm not the only one going through stuff. Some people don't want to admit it, but let me be the first. I go through things too. So here we are. Shit. Consistent effort is needed to overcome the struggle, and your inner gifts are about to emerge. Don't fuss, get on with it. So that's what that is in the upright. Now, they even have a modern interpretation here as well. The strategist, high-level problem solver, visionary, innovator, specializes in overseas expansion. That's if, that's your forte. Now, what it means in reverse is, of course, you're not doing the things you need to do. Everything I just mentioned, you just not even doing that. But it can also mean other things too, like lack of discipline, situations out of control, addiction, envy, avarice, afraid to use your abilities, arrogance or lack of self-confidence, burying head in the sand, meaning you're not doing nothing. It's like every time you think about the things you want to do, and then you don't, take on those things that you think about, and then it's like it's another form of being stagnant, put it that way. Yeah, warning against overwhelming ambition, burnout, or wasting resources. Yeah, because you can burn out if you become too ambitious in the things that you want to do. That's why I take my time when I'm doing. I know this is not a race. It's a marathon. I'm taking my time. I'm not about to be so quick because I know I have to self-regenerate too. I have to, self-sustain. So I know I be dragging my feet a little bit, but I be having multiple things. But I take my time and I just move like a snail, like I said before, not quick, because I don't want to be burned out at the end of the day. And I do still deal with, pain here and there. I still deal with pain, but I'm pushing my way through it the best way I know how. And you can too. You know what I mean? Everything that you admire in the next person is in you also. Everything that you see that you will want to take on for yourself, all of the things you dream about doing, just do them. You don't worry about what's going on outside of you. When you hop on this journey, like I said, the focus is inside and you doing what's best for you. And that's just the gist of the Chariot. So I'm gonna leave that there. I hope that you was able to get something out of this. And love, live life, keep pushing. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on nothing you trying to do. With that being said, I'm out. Y'all have a good evening.
Nobody can go to